So for my topic for today is the Four Medical Tantra and Vajrayana Buddhism. While listening to Dr. Nidala, I felt that most of my things have been covered. So thank you. So given the time of 15 minutes, I will try to wrap up and go to the main points. Like in the beginning, when someone said that we have talking Buddhist and then practicing Buddhist. So I would like to share something about a practicing Buddhist related with my family and my practice as a Sowa Rigpa practitioner. Firstly, I want to pay homage to the medicine Buddha. So yesterday we had our first day of the conference, and while watching and listening to all the participants, I was wondering and thinking, wow, here I am among great scholars, researchers, writers, and just before me, Dr. Nila Jena-san, what I can say about you. I may feel so small before you, but I do feel so enriched after you, listening to you. And I take it as a blessing to be among learned people who shape my obscured mind that there is a lot more to learn and unlearn. And then yesterday, when Kalarubiche said he don't know much and he's not being humble, as the people I would normally say, and I'm sure none of us have believed, but please believe me when I say I know very little. Similarly, I have often heard my father say, I'm not a real Dzogchen practitioner, only because from 5 preliminary practices Dzogchen, he couldn't finish Mandala offering. Otherwise, he had done all the 4 major preliminary practices. So I'll not pass over this, that Dr. Nidala has already covered that. The concept, the elements, the 3 principal energies, the consultations, how we diagnose, and the treatment. These are the basic fundamentals of Tibetan medicine. So the concept of the elements, we are made of the elements, and when we die, we go back to the elements. So that's a reminder that the birth, the other part, the other end is the death. So we always have to remember the impermanence. So these are the topics I want to cover, but I will also again take some from them. So the conception theory in Shigi, like in the Four Medical Tantras, where we talk about the conception. So here it talks about the past karmic imprint, the importance of the karmic imprint. So where sometimes, many times, the medicine doesn't work, where we need rituals and prayers to conceive. And dying and death omens, again in Yushi, in the 7th chapter of Shigi, we talk about the dying and death omens. So I will just go to the main points with a case example of the dreams where sorry, last night I prepared, and yesterday I was discussing with some friends, and they were saying, okay, just go through this. And then the morning, Dr. Nidala was saying, don't read it out, just go through this one, my PowerPoint. So as in Tibetan saying, so discuss with others, take others' opinions, but you have to decide yourself. So I decided to go to the main points, and So here, so like for my grandmother, so why I'm talking about this, because is in this Gyushi also we have mentioned about the dreams, where we, through dreams, indications of someone is dying or someone is going to get sick. So like for my grandmother, she knew she was going to die before 5 years, and because let me go back to a little bit of history. She got blind one of her eyes while cutting the wood, and that was the first time she dreamed of a monk who told her in some hand indication that this is now she should practice to leave the worldly things and practice spiritual practices. So she started from there then. And then later, I remember in 1985, we went for the Bodh Gaya Kala Chakra. After coming back from there, and she told my father that now she has left only 1 year. And she told him about the dream. And because in the 1985, in Bodh Gaya, the same monk came to a dream, and he said she has one left, and he just did like that, something like that. See, so in between those few years, she accumulated so many Benza Guru, money, and she sold everything. She doesn't want to keep any, leave behind. And when she passed away, to make it short, and we found that she has money, to 108 she has left behind. I have a picture here. This is her money, and this is me with my grandmother, and this is the tomb, and there, I think she used to some. She doesn't know. She doesn't read, right? So she will put some bindu, like that dots. How much? And my father was telling me she has some Benzo Guru, Tunguru 8, 108, money 108, something all over 108, 108. And she left this money and then her rosary that she's wearing behind. Others she sold everything because and she used that for offerings, for lungdap, the prayer flags, offerings to the monasteries and all that. Okay, and then later. Yeah, and then okay, I'll just make it short. The spiritual healing that Dr. Nita was talking about, and when we talk about the Lunga Yisu, everything that we do is from Lunga Yisu, right? Body, mind, and speech. So I would just relate that with her practice or my father's practice, because in Sowa Rigpa we talk about the lifestyle, mainly about lifestyle, where we talk about not being having a sedentary life, where sitting all the time, binging and all that. So in Buddhist practice, we have prostration, we have circumambulation. All this comes under some exercise. So that makes the person, a body in movement. So in her lifetime, in those few years, she had 3 chagum, or 300,000 prostration, and that was all done on her sleeping bag. She has a small bag, tiny bag. On that morning, every morning she would do 108, and night she would do 108. That was her daily ritual. And she, so speech through devoted all time in mantra recitation, and I have never seen her talking rude or like being rude. Only thing that the advice I have heard from her, don't be cruel and be good to your parents. That was her, and she said, yeah, and like your parents, people should also make your parents live a spiritual life when they get older. And the mind, and like in the later part, when about she died, she requested my father to read the Bhagavad Gita in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So she listened that in final days. So why I'm saying this is because many of us, we fear dying, we fear death, we fear the suffering of dying. So I found it, like even though I was a young girl, I've always felt that she was so fully prepared, and she know where she is going. Even for my father, has no doubt where she is going. And this is, and yeah, oh, 1 second, sorry. Yeah, let me talk a little bit about the Sakya Lama that I met in 1980, 86, I think, yeah. There was one Lama from Tibet came. His name is Doji Damde, my father told me. And my father took my grandmother and mother to the Lama. And when he saw us, my father, and he said, looking at my father, he said, you have to be careful. Within 8 months, you need to do chamo. Otherwise, there's an obstacle. And for my mother, he told your sickness or illness is lene. In Tibetan, it's a karmic because of bad karmic or something related to the or previous life. So she also need to do chamo. And without taking much time, my father started doing, and then he made this prostration mat, and he started doing it home, but he couldn't because we were small children and it was very disturbing. So he took to Bodh Gaya and he started doing that, and he finished Chao in 2.5 months. So, and then he again, in the dream, he saw the snake, vomiting a snake, and that was a kind of indication that the disease he has inside been cleared or something like that. So my father's practice is completion in Tibet. He's not a doctor, but he has practiced under his master, Tuku Sangye Kunga, who is a Dzogchen master and a Tibetan doctor. So he used to prepare his own medicine. So his life is dependent on Tibetan herbs and then mantra recitation. And so before I was introduced to Tibetan medicines, early from age, I was introduced to Tibetan, what do you call that? Ngangmal, Ngachu, these things, bless water, bless oil, bless water. So for small elements, like I have ringworm, he would do some like that and cure that. And then we have rituals at home when we get sick. So he was like our monk at home, and do the divinations and all that. So, it's okay. So just wrap it up. I think I'm short of time now. I just want to convey, because he's in Bhutan, the Vajrayana land. We talk about Tummo Yoga, many things that I really am not very accustomed to, but I heard a lot. But I think is many of us we need to be like realistic and to like know the possibility that we can do, the simple things, in simple things. So here in Sowa Rigpa it says the objectives of learning Sowa Rigpa or the Tibetan medicines is to remain healthy and to cure others, to live long, to practice Dharma, and to accumulate wealth and achieve happiness, to free from suffering of illness, to gain honors for others if you do good things, and spirituality, prosperity, and happiness. So the main point I want to convey here is many things are lies in simple things like being mindful, being compassionate, being empathetic. We talk about many things, but when coming to the main point, it comes to being yourself, like yesterday Kalarum, which is being sincere to oneself. I think it's very important. And also, like Sowa Rigpa talks about mainly about the diet and the lifestyle. So these two are very important to eat the right food and the balance, not to eat too much, too less, and to have a healthy lifestyle. These two things are very important to have a healthy life and to keep ourselves, what do you call that, humbled. I think we always have to remember that we have to live, and like Dr. Nidala said, love is poison, and because of that, so many problems. So I think in this lifetime, through these Buddhist teachings, we need to learn how to detach ourselves from, and loving is not a bad thing. I think knowing detaching is more important. So I think I will wrap up with this, and I want to thank you all for listening to me.